Yes, indeed. Good morning, everyone.
Well, this one's a hard one to pick, Nick.
Yeah.
Who do you take? I mean, it really is. Out of a lot of the matches you watch, you always have a clear favourite. I don't really see one in this.
It's a bit of a tough one. I mean, Matt has, well, they both are in their place by right. Matt had, over the years, he's had some incredible sculpts. He's probably just slightly the more experienced, but I mean, Andy's got years in the game as well. As you say, very hard to pick a winner. Andy played really well against Jordan Shepherd, by the way. I mean, he was 4-1 up and really pushed Jordan hard. So if he plays like he did against Jordan, then he's got every chance here, especially with that start from Matt. I mean, how unlucky is that? Yellow comes up and kicks the cue ball in.
Yeah, you can't legislate for that sort of carry on. He's dubs. Very quickly he plays off that ball to try and develop the other yellow.
Yeah, a little bit too much.
Where's he gone?
Well, I think the referee's coming to
I
check
think
for
the
a
clock.
foul.
Is it that or is it? It's either that or the shot clock's sort of had a little malfunction, is it?
I think she's checking for a foul. I think. Well, no, maybe it is the clock. I'm not sure. They've not come into the.
To be fair, I didn't see any foul there.
No, I didn't either.
Unless it was something where he'd moved the ball with his hand, but I would have thought he'd have put his hand up in the air and owned up to it.
Yeah.
As in, they all do, don't they?
Maybe an issue with the clock because the referee just quickly darted out. So they're probably just getting things.
I think,
right.
well, referee Trish there, she's obviously where she was standing, she's looking right at the main clock in the arena, and she probably saw it hadn't set off.
Yeah.
So
a few gremlins just to start the day. But I mean, just going back to that shot, actually, just a tiny bit clumsy, and the contact with the red was probably just a little bit too hard, and now it's come back over to cover that yellow. I don't believe you can get to the potting angle of that yellow, so he's going to have to try and develop it again.
might be able to play the plant into there.
Yeah, maybe. It's tight, that's for sure. Very close. He has to just almost graze that red on the way past.
Of course, this match is a race of 7.
I think
They start with 50 minutes on the match clock.
I think the yellow goes to the right side of the pocket. I think it's too tight. There you go.
He played it with some pace there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I just didn't think that went. Thought it was always going to go towards the right knuckle. And playing it at that pace, it didn't give it any chance to go in.
Well, a very disappointing early visit there from Williams. The yellows were there, and now a decent little chance here for Matt Cook after going in off his break. Steady performer is Matt. Been around a long time. I've played Matt on a few occasions back in the day when we both had full heads of hair.
Well, that was a long time ago. Goodness me.
And that's coming from you. Well, I've at least got a little bit left.
Someone sent me a
wig.
Someone sent me an image of myself that I've never seen before. I don't know how.
Well,
I'll
tell you what, nobody else wants to see it in here. I can tell you that, Nick.
And I've got a full head of hair, so that was a long time ago. I mean, that's over 30 years ago.
You took a few off there as well, by the way.
That's rude.
No, it's factual. Anyway, Matt Cook has now opened himself up a nice little chance here on Reds. Just a little bit of sort of half hampered queuing, if you like, over this yellow.
When I say full head of hair, it was receding a bit, but you know. Anyway, back with the action. Hard work's pretty much done. He's just needs to cue this one well. I mean, it should be a gimme, but it's a little bit of a tester first thing in the morning when your arm's still a little bit stiff. Get that back arm going. Get that shoulder moving.
Well, Williams would be a little bit annoyed with himself there because he could have won that frame against the break. But he made that error. Like you said, he didn't develop that yellow well enough when he played that little cannon shot, missed the plant, and it's Matt Cook who takes full advantage. And he leads 1-0. Well, that's a better break. That's probably the best break in the match.
It is, but I mean, the result-wise, I mean, actually, the break itself, he's hit the side of the front ball. The cue ball's gone below the middle pocket. That shows how badly he's timed it. It's a good split, but he put his hand up in apology because he knew how badly he timed it. Were you one for apologising, Tony? You know,
not on the break, no.
No.
I mean, this is my take on it, and a lot of players are not going to agree with me. I mean, I was all for one for just, it's brute force for me. Hit the break as hard as I possibly can. Suddenly goes in great, because that's your main goal. You're trying to pot a ball off the break. As for trying to control the cue ball, when I used to break, I mean, I'd literally, because I'd swing my whole body back and throw my arm forward. I was never controlling the cue ball.
Yeah.
It was pure, if it bounced in, it bounced in.
Yeah.
As soon as I did try it, and I thought, right, try a more measured break. I didn't get balls. I think got nowhere near getting balls off the break. I thought, well, that's a load of nonsense. So I just went and whacked them again.
Yeah.
So
I mean, conversely, if you get kicked in off and you're unlucky, your opponent doesn't apologise to you.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, it's cobblers. There you go. Let's not dress it up as anything else. I'm not having it. But then once you see players in it and they start making the same ball in the same pocket off every break, then you think, well, that's not a break, that's a plant.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Referring to the cut break, of course.
No, why would I be doing that? When you're referring to cut breaks, now that thing that Tom Cousins was using last night, my God, that should be illegal. That's an incredible break.
Yeah.
That's short. Well,
I mean, it's a thin cut. The cue ball's heading towards that middle pocket as well. Can he avoid the middle?
I think you can. The double's makeable. I think it just goes past the black.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be. I mean, anything else, you're riding the cue ball around the table. So I think he's going to play the double. Played it twice across actually, but yeah, he's got a double.
Oh, that's a nice shot. That's a very nice shot. Great recovery.
Well, he needed it.
He definitely needed it, yeah. Because the yellows were all there. Seen from where the cue ball was, that was going to be another simple clearance for Matt if he missed that. So a bit of pressure on that shot, and he came through it really nicely. Yeah, loads of experience. Came from the snooker scene originally, I believe. She refereed snooker before she came across the pool.
Yeah, she gets on well with all the players and everybody around the place. She's a very pleasant character.
Yeah.
Always got a smile. What's Andy going to do here then? I think he's going to have to look at these reds. He's looking at that plant to start with.
Yeah. I think he's looked at the red a couple of times past the 8 ball and wasn't sure if he could get through the potting angle. And that red now is actually a bit of a problem because the little triangle that's to the left-hand side, as we look at, well, above the cue ball as we look at it now, they kind of link with each other, but then nothing links with that ball that's beside the 8. I don't think he's got the angle to force across to it now. May be able to force one. He could. Yeah, well, it's not great, is it? He's got a big angle here.
He's all in now.
Yeah, he's going into the yellow in the 8. He needs to burst that cue ball through there somehow because he's going to be on nothing. I mean, if he's low here, he trusted to luck a little bit there. Didn't get
That needed
much.
to be belted.
Yeah.
I know it's reckless, but at some point, sometimes you just have to. There's nothing else. It's. I'm not saying hit and hope, but there was, because you're canning into so many different balls. You've just got to right. I need it out in the open, but playing it softly there, like he did, it's always going to stay stuck to.
Even if he gets this long, what's
the yellows?
What's he got next? Red off the. Oh, what an effort that is!
Very close.
That was a great effort.
Mind you, good cue ball, for considering he didn't pot the red. Obviously not particularly good if he had potted it.
That was a great effort.
Well, Matt Cook's only got really one shot he can play, and that's the yellow into the centre. Ideally, then he'd want to go up the top and play the loss of turn. And that would be his next shot. Maybe not off this one, but that's what I'd be looking to do, is try and obviously get rid of that red over that ball, over that top bag, and leave the cue ball somewhere onto the top left-hand side of the table with no shot for Andy Williams, and also develop that, opened up that pocket.
Extension hole.
I mean, he could play it here if he wants to play that yellow into the middle and send a cue ball into the red over the bag.
Yeah, but he still needs to
think he's
develop
just
the
gonna
two
go
yellows
game?
at the top of the table.
I don't like him going game. I don't like those two yellows at the top. He's gone, yeah, that's a shot. That is the shot. So I'm up now.
Does this? Can he get to the potting angle?
Well, see,
the yellow,
this is why he needed the red out of the way, because he couldn't put the two yellows into this top right hand corner. He had to get rid of that red.
Yeah.
It's either loss of turn and let him come back to the table, or play it that way.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was going to go game then when he did that bit, but
I'm not sure he could get through to the potting angle of either
no,
of those
you might be
yellows.
right. You could well be right there, Nick.
And this is actually tough because he's covered the yellows in the way of the angle that Andy needs to get to on the left side cushion. So, oh, what an escape that is!
Well, that's some shot even to hit that.
That is a fantastic escape, and actually he's pushed one of the yellows safe as well. One of the yellow just in behind the 8-ball now, so that causes Matt a bit more of a headache. But that was a fantastic escape. To be able to judge that to the short rail and find that angle was exceptionally good.
Absolutely great shot there, Andy Williams. But you feel that Matt Cook's now just going to develop this yellow, leave the cue ball stuck to the black ball.
Yeah.
But you're going to fancy Andy to hit this, and we've said about these shots many a time, and all of us in commentary, that if you can get to the side rail, you expect to hit it. And how many out of 10 would you pot? 2, 3?
Yeah, as a professional player, you'd hope to get 2 or 3, wouldn't you? So, I mean, you from close. From Matt's perspective, he's played the odds. You know, giving your opponent a 20% opportunity. If you were playing poker, you'd take that all day long. But it does mean that you know, 2 times out of 10, he's going to get it, and you're going to lose the frame.
We have to
so
weigh
there
up
is a risk.
You're weighing up your option because he could have played a double. So it's his double versus the snooker. Which one's the better shot? But anyway, regardless, Matt Cook now has a clear run at these yellows and the black to try and get himself into the last 64 and through this prelim. We have just entered into the last 10 minutes of the match, of course, so now we're at 15 seconds of shot as well. As you can see on the board behind us, the 15-second shot clock now in play. Played that really well. That was a tougher shot than it looked, especially when you know you've got 2 seconds to hit the ball.
Absolutely.
And this is absolutely perfect now for Matt Cook. The Cookie Monster's going to progress.
Good solid win from Matt Cook, and Josh Kane awaits.
And down goes the black ball, and it's Matt Cook that goes through a little bit of a scrappy affair. Andy Williams, not his best day at the office, but Matt will be quite satisfied with his morning's work.
He's got a new opponent, somebody he's not played before, Dave Gilbert, in just his second match on the Ultimate Pool Pro Series. Played Stevie Dempsey in event 5 a couple of days ago. Played brilliantly, but came up just short, and it was a brilliant performance from Stevie Dempsey, has to be said. The number 2 seed to knock out Dave Gilbert, the world snooker star. And he is going to get us underway. Tony Holgate stayed in the commentary box to join me for this one, Tony, and I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah,
promises to be an absolute belter. I'm quite excited about this one. There's Tom Cousins. I think he's brought his own chair with him now. I've hardly ever seen anybody else sat in that chair, to be fair, the last couple of days.
Yeah, and he's had a lot of table time, so he should be a good touch out there. You worry about some players who've just won the title the night before. He would about 11:30 by the time he got away from the arena, and you think they might go out and celebrate and stuff. But Tom, you get the sense it is business, and he would have gone to his room, put the trophy away, and gone, right, okay, I'm playing again at 12:15 tomorrow, so let's be ready.
It's quite funny. I was just talking to Andy Williams after he just lost to Matt Cook, and obviously he's a teammate of Tom's in the Welsh team, and he said, Tom's all just normal self. He's talking about having a game of golf on Monday, and everything's all quite happy, and just before the World Championship starts, not even thinking about this. It's just everything's just so easy for him. It's just a walk in the park.
It is. I spoke to Dave Gilbert just before he went out, and he said it helps when you make 5 balls off every break, like Tom seems to, but he's sort of downplaying the rest of it, but tongue in cheek. He has been breaking really well with the cup break this weekend.
Absolutely. But what you're going to get with Dave Gilbert is, if he's presented with these chances, he's not going to miss them.
Yeah, that is true. He did play really, really well as well. I mean, he talks about not really understanding the patterns and, doesn't really see it out there, but he actually put together some great patterns in his match against Stevie. A couple of times he went down the rabbit hole, but pool players will do that as well. It's not being critical of him for that. Tough layouts, sometimes you get yourself in a mess, but by and large, he took out good finishes and with really good patterns.
Yeah, I sort of looked at it, and you look at, a professional snooker player, especially one that's right at the top of the game. But you think playing this game, things like the loss of turn shot, where Dave wouldn't be used to doing that sort of thing at snooker.
But he doesn't want to either. He doesn't want to play. He openly admit he's just going to try and clear up. It's hard for him to kind of think about doing anything else. All he can do right now is sit and watch as Tom Cousins is going to mop through this opening frame.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Copy and paste.
Already eyeing up number 11. He has done the double before as well, pointing that out. Did that roughly the same time last year, actually.
Yeah, he did. Remember it. That takes him doing to go through entire 4 days of not losing to anybody.
Yeah, played Stevie Dempsey in the final twice. Stevie didn't get 8 chances in two matches. Such was the level that Tom played at. And he is 1-0 up here against Dave Gilbert, because he hits it with so much power, the cue ball's being pinballed around. There's very few people can hit the cup break with that much power and keep it on the table.
Absolutely.
It's incredible, really. How level he manages to keep the cue here. When you're cueing off the cushion, you're digging down on it. And the cue ball's often bouncing, and if you hit that second ball, it's got nowhere to go but off the side of the table. So that's why it comes off with extreme power on the cup break. And if you can keep it smooth like Tom can.
Yeah, that's been worked on a lot, that break.
Weirdly, his front ball break, he does get a lot of bounce on it. When he goes front ball extreme power, then he gets the airtime. He gets, because he's, that's his power break from being in stroke rather than the sort of power front ball break where he really, really ramps it up.
Oh,
I think the machine needs to be recalibrated here. 2 mistakes.
well.
Right at the top of the table, does pass to top left, so looked like a fairly routine finish for Tom. It's going to get away from, well, it has got away from him. It should be 2-2 here.
Gilbert wants to be.
I think he could have done with a bit more up the table. This looks a touch straight. Not enough just to force it. It looks better from this angle.
I was like sort of pinch these with a bit of run inside. Just sort of helps the ball into the pocket, I feel. Down it goes.
Very nice. Well, he's done the right thing. He's gone to it as quickly as he can, and he's gone to it in such a way where he's going to be on balls after playing this shot. Watch where the yellow goes as well. He doesn't want to block the 8 ball. He shouldn't do, but just be careful with that. Oh, he has.
Ooh, where's the cue ball gone? I think he's stuck behind the yellow as well.
Actually went in a lot easier than I thought. The reason I didn't think it was going to tie the 8 ball up is I thought the yellow might be moving a lot more. He might be getting a bit thicker, but that was an excellent shot in terms of making the ball. And that's where the good news ends.
Well, he could just get through. I looked at the overhead and I thought he was glued to the yellow ball, but not. But this black ball. I mean, there's no double there, there's nothing in. Trying to look for some way, try and move it now and just try and trust a bit of luck. Oh, wow.
It's very good. I mean, he needs 2 more big shots, but that's excellent. He was gambling a little bit because if he gets it full, he's snookered, but he had to move it.
Yeah, one big shot really, because it didn't have to do too much with the cue ball. If you can make this red, which is tremendously difficult, white will come naturally over to the other side of the table and the black does go.
Oh, what a shot that is.
That is monster.
Oh, this is naughty, this out. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And Dave Gilbert takes the lead over Top Cat 3-2. Could probably force across for it, but is it worth it?
I think he's tried to force across.
Yeah.
I didn't like that shot for the simple reason if you do jaw it, you're pushing the cue ball very near to Tom's reds and leaving him in plumb position. Went to Dave's red, sorry. He looks like he's going to play the cut up the rail. That's a fantastic ball.
Well, he's missed a couple in this match, but that really was excellent. That was one I was expecting to jaw and be rejected, and he floats it in like it's hanging over the pocket. It's been a kind of feast or famine out there. There's been a couple of mistakes, but a couple of brilliant finishes as well. That break's warming up nicely. It tells us that he can't break.
I'd like that one all day long.
That's as good as we've seen all weekend long. Parks the cue ball, balls fly in, and a beautiful layout. This one won't take long.
No. Yellows for me. Join the dots time. Pulled that a bit further than he'd like there. He just wanted to be dead straight on that ball into the middle. He's now left himself a little cut angle. Might refuse to play it now and play the long yellow, which he is doing. Back in A1 position. I'd have gone the other way. I'd have played the one in the middle first there. Just left that one screwed down. Yeah, but who am I to second guess?
Yeah.
An expert cueist.
Yeah, all works anyway.
I think it's just all preference there, that one.
Yeah.
I'd have been 1 inch nearer the black. My way.
And as expected following that break, 5-4, Dave Gilbert leads 2 away from knocking out the number one. Got to be. He's hit the last couple of breaks brilliantly, and he's had zero reward for them.
Look at the yellow, Simon.
I mean, they are all there. They really are just all there. But we said it, when he was 6-4 up, he will get a chance to win this match, and he did. Dave Gilbert wasn't able to take it. Now it's Tom Cousins with a chance to win the match. It is an easier chance, but you still expected Dave to get his. Won't be a comfortable feeling for that man.
It'll be the ball next to the black next. Just bring this off the rail a little bit, leave a slight angle for that yellow that's next to the red. And that will be formality. Just got to bridge over the black a little bit here, but that's not going to cause a problem to Tom Cousins. It's been a fascinating encounter. And like you said, Simon, Dave did have that chance when Cousins broke and sent the cue ball out off into the arena. Plenty of people have been here to watch this.
It's been a very enjoyable match. Some really good finishes, some drama. But it's going to go to the way of the number one player. Tom Cousins has done it again. He has come from 6-4 behind again. Dave Gilbert put up a great fight. He comes up just short, just the one chance to win it, wasn't able to take it. And Top Cat moves on. He's into the last 32.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Blackpool and this main arena table. For this last 64 game, an absolute cracker it should be. It's Craig Woodingham versus Phil Parkin. I'm joined on comms by Matt Briley. How are you, Matt?
I'm very good, Nick. You?
Yeah, looking forward to this game. We've just watched another absolute cracker. I mean, Tom Cousins, how does he do it? 6-4 down yesterday against Aaron Davies, and Aaron didn't get another shot apart from a couple of breaks. Done exactly the same today, 6-4 down against the angry farmer.
Yeah, it's just crazy. He just finds his way to win. I don't know who does it. Yeah, it's just, I mean, at 6-5 there, when Tom's gone off the table, and Dave had that opportunity, you just think it's all over this one, isn't it, really? But I just don't know who manages to find a way to win him. I think Dave will be kicking himself there. It looked like he was trying to play a cannon for some reason, and there was absolutely no reason to play any cannon. Every ball went.
Yep.
It was just a case of potting him.
And Craig Woodingham in great shape in this first frame. Really good solid break. And everything's there. I was just talking to Craig out in the foyer a moment ago, and he seems in pretty good spirits. Looking forward to the game.
Yeah, you got two very good players here. I mean, obviously Craig will go in as favourite, but Phil, he's had some great results of late. I think he went deep recently in one of the events as well, isn't he? So he's a top player.
Action all the way today. Lots and lots coming your way. It's going to be on this main arena table until late this evening. I will keep you updated with the other scores in and around the arena.
Is that the sort of the speed version of it, effectively? Is that the
so,
team
yeah,
one with like
yeah.
the 15 or the 30-second shot clock or whatever it may be?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's televised in something like 65 countries on Monday. It's,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big one.
TNT have got it, but there's a lot of stations are showing
nice.
it. For both of the next 2 Mondays, I believe it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they're splitting it over the 2 Mondays, are they? Are they playing sort of like down to the final
the
stages?
Men's the following Monday. The men's team shootout the following Monday, yeah.
Is that the one where Callum Singleton did the infamous sort of, looking at his watch on the...
Oh, yeah.
On the 6 red, was it?
Yeah, brilliant. Those events, they just bring up so many great moments. I think players just love playing team events, don't they?
Yeah.
I was talking to Deck about it yesterday, and he said there's just something magical about being able to play for your team. As much as it's great to play individual and lift trophies and all the rest of it, but playing for your mates is just, there's just something. There's something about it,
and a complete different pressure to it as well. Totally different to a singles game.
Yeah. You're only, if you lose the singles game, you're just letting yourself down, and maybe your backers if you've got backers. But I mean, in these team events, everyone's rooting for you. Good banter as well normally.
Yeah.
Especially in that Irish team, Declan and Ronan, they'll be slinging insults at each other. That whole team will be for sure.
Yeah. Just okay. Obviously he's got a fair bit of angle here, which is going to make it a little bit trickier, but...
Yeah, really tricky, because if he wants to try and use that top cushion, there is just a whole bank of yellows in the way. Almost impossible to navigate. I think he's got to try and kill this. That's a very nice shot.
Very nice.
That's as well as he could have played it. I mean, I know it just looks simple, but you really got to drag that in and just kill the cue ball.
Yeah, it's so easy to get that wrong and see the white fly off, and all of a sudden then you've got either a ridiculously tricky black or nothing on it at all.
Try breaks her just when he needed the ball to get across the line. And there is a glimmer of hope here for Phil Parkin. Well, more than a glimmer.
He took him out well in that last frame, though. It's a bit of a pressure frame for him, really, after having made a mistake previously. He's 6-3 down. Another mistake, you're potentially out. Okay, it's going to have to just trust to luck a little bit. Don't think there'll be anything too delicate with this. Disappointed, but to be honest, I'd be looking at coming round off the 2. I'd go off the top rail, side rail, try and go into the 2 that are near the pocket, and I think you'd come up into the other one as well.
Sean Story's beaten Cole Bedford 7 frames to 5, and interestingly, Emma Cunningham is on the hill. She's 6-5 up against Rona McCarthy.
That be Emma's first win,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. She's been close a couple of times.
So no, she was very, very close last year against me. I was 5-0 down against her on the TV table. So I managed to pull it back.
Ryan Fleming is 4-1 up against yesterday's semi-finalist Neil Raybone. Dave Hogan is 1-0 up against Cy Fitzsimmons. They were having a good weekend. Eddie Barker 1-0 against Hitam Patel. Those games still very early on, of course.
Woodingham has just played a shocker there. He'll be kicking himself right now. He's gone for a bit of a plant into the corner from the Phil's balls. He's just got it all wrong and opened everything up.
Oh, Phil.
Wow.
Oh, Phil. Is that his last opportunity in this match? Because the Reds are all there now.
Yeah.
Emma Cunningham has beaten Rona McCarthy.
Wow, what a win for her that is. That's a great one.
Hats off to her. 7 frames to 5. Well done, Emma. As you say, if we are right, and I think we are right in saying that that's her first win on the pro circuit. Obviously, one many times on the Ladies Pro.
Yep.
But on the main pro, I think that may be her first win.
Yeah, she's come so close so many times. It's unreal.
I remember it now. I think it was her first match. She played Melling, and she was like 4-1 up or something.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah.
Well done to her. That's amazing. Great effort. Declan Brennan won't have anything to say about that to Ronan for sure. Oh, they're a pair to be around. I spent a little while with them yesterday. Blimey, they're a funny pair.
Yeah.
Great mates, but they just love ribbing each other.
Yeah, Deck will be rubbing his hands together there, won't he? Ron will be trying to get out of the way right now.
I mean, that win, as long as it's been coming, it was inevitable, really. I mean, Emma's just such a great player. She's been, multiple world titles and just been a dominant force in the ladies' game until, really until the last couple of years, until Amy came along and Harriet. So she really is a top player.
Not totally straightforward this here for Craig. It's just taking his time here just to make sure he gets his positional shot right now and a tricky little shot just to get across.
Yeah, it's all about getting from left to right, isn't it? And, or from right to left, whichever way he sees it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd almost be tempted. He's got such a big angle on the one on the right-hand side. I'd almost be tempted to take that next.
Yeah, just try and float across. It's just that yellow that's in the middle, I think, probably just making him worry a little bit.
He's going to have to punch this.
Ooh. He's played it well.
Holy moly.
He was dicing with death a little, wasn't he, with that? Yeah, it's always that yellow in the middle that was making it tricky either way.
He's just got such an amazing cue action that there was barely any power in that shot at all. And well, this is tricky. I mean, he may even play it to right corner here. He's looking at the cutback, but what do you prefer here?
Yeah, I guess because of the pace you can play it, I do prefer this one.
Yeah. So Craig Woodingham, no, yes. Get this guessing.
Yeah. You can remind him of what he said earlier on, I think.
I definitely will.
Yeah.
Goodness me, that was a sticky game for Craig Woodingham, but he comes through, he navigates the match unscathed, and it's him who goes through into the last 32.
Lovely to hear from the young gun, Kyle Cope, who is at the table. He has previously been seen out in the arena this afternoon already. He was chief fanboy for Dave Gilbert, who, if you look at the top right of your picture, you can see Dave in Kyle's corner as well, those two supporting each other well. And Kyle will be hoping to do a little better, at least results-wise, than his mentor Dave Gilbert earlier on this afternoon, who played brilliantly, beautifully in fact, against Tom Cousins, who naturally won a 7-6 decider because that's what he does. Rob Warren, the opponent then for Kyle, and Rob himself has been going well this weekend. Looking forward to watching him, always an entertaining player. And we've got ourselves a tactical exchange to kick off frame number one here. Steve Jameson and Tony Holgate with you for this one.
Yeah, good afternoon, and I was on comments with Rob Warren yesterday in his match, and he was playing really, really well, and then he just sort of had a frustrating day at the office when he got to the latter stages.
Yeah.
Made a few unforced errors, and it stopped him going really deep into event 5.
And I think the frustrating thing from Rob's perspective will be there that he made a few errors that will, number one, annoy him, but his opponent also made a few errors as well, and that was a very, very winnable game for him.
It was.
And it was just a case. Sometimes you come off the table and Rob will have had plenty of them himself where he comes off the table and thinks, I just didn't have the chances to win that game, or I had one chance where I've missed one ball and I've found myself being beaten by 7 frames or something like that. Those games happen all the time, but what happens probably less often, especially at the back end of events, are matches when you get 2 players who have plenty of chances and both make their fair share of mistakes as well, and those ones in a strange way, they really hurt because it's all on you because the chance was there and you just weren't quite ready to take it, and that's disappointing in that sense. So looking for a bit of an improvement, the Wacker here this afternoon on Saturday. Saturday? Yeah, Saturday.
It is Saturday.
You lose track of the days, and I'm on day 3 of about 16, I think is, which is not a good sign. But
no. And I'm with you. I'm on day 3 of about 16 as well. But yes,
it's going to be a fun fortnight.
It is,
because we're sat here in the Commons box, which is a great match of pool on. Got Hungary versus Switzerland away to my right as well. A festival of summer sport, which is what we love, especially when it's absolutely throwing it down outside in Blackpool. We're not missing anything.
Yeah, it was. It's quite pleasant this morning, but yeah, it's not great now. It's the weather's turned for the worse. Tricky shot here for the Wacker.
Oh, he's come at smelling of roses here.
Well, has he?
I thought it was just going to pull up. Well, now, if it had landed just before it hit the cushion and stopped there, he'd have taken it down the rail and he'd been lovely. But this is hard now.
Trouble with this, if he tries to cut this down the road, he's getting his cue out the way. It's not even attempting. He's going to try to cross double.
It would have been insane.
Kickback double, yeah.
Yeah, really, really tough for Rob there. He knew he was up against it a little bit, trusting a little bit to luck on that final red. He's made it a bit messy for Kyle. Not a gimme here.
Nice little safety there from Kyle. One there, hit the black, knocked in Kyle's yellow, just makes no difference, loss of the table, which would have been even if the yellow didn't go in. So Cope now with what should be considered pretty easy little gang of yellows for him to knock in for the opening frame. Just this simple yellow now. And a tap in Blackpool, and Kyle Cope will draw first blood here in Blackpool.
Lovely job from Kyle Cope, who gets frame number 1 on the board in this race to 7. If you can repeat the trick, I mean, look at that cue ball, Tony, it's perfect. Deserves a good split. He's got a good split. If Kyle Cope holds himself together, this is 6-3. He has crunched these. And what did I tell you before about the cue ball? It's got an unbelievable ability to just end up on the bottom cushion from a front ball break.
Red's the order of the day for Kyle Cope. Taking on the plant first. Played it very well indeed. Going to get both balls in the same shot.
Yeah, a little double doink for Kyle Cope. Wow. Oh, well, that's a shocker. What have we just seen there?
Not only that, he's just left Rob Warren straight on his The 2 yellows at the top, but
Dollies. That's crazy.
I mean, I don't think there was a kick or anything there. He missed a ball early into that corner, didn't he? That yellow along that was just away from the rail.
I just can't believe that. I did not see that coming in any way whatsoever.
No. Wow.
It just goes straight on, doesn't it?
Quite bizarre.
I mean, you'll know better than me, Tony. Is there anything... Don't look at me like that.
Why would I know?
You've been in a World Championship final, mate.
Oh, no, but nobody else turned up. I honestly don't know.
It's difficult to comprehend that sort of a miss.
The only thing you say is he'd already, in his mind, he'd already potted that, and he's probably about three balls down the road on his finish, and just took his eye off it. I mean, you know, it's just a ball you would never miss as a professional. I mean, he'll be sat there absolutely gutted because, I mean, in that finish there, I mean, it puts him on the hill.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's just gifted Rob Warner a little route back into this match.
It's an enormous difference between 6-3 and 5-4. This needs queuing in. Queued in it is, very nicely. The whack stays alive. That's a 5-4.
This looks nice for Kyle Cope.
He'll take this.
Yes, he'll be more than happy with this layout on the table.
See, this is the example of what we talk about the break. Like, that cue ball from Kyle has been perfect. And you can honestly make a case for essentially that being the difference.
Yeah.
Because it's just quality of opportunity. Kyle's had more opportunities in this match, but he's had more opportunities because his breaking has been better. Not that he's had more luck on the break, it's been better.
The way he cues the ball, I like Kyle. He cues it very softly. He doesn't, he doesn't overhit balls, and he's got a nice little touch. I'm going to put his miss down on that a couple of frames ago to the fact that he thought he cleared up, and he just took his eye off that completely and was playing. He was playing the next red after it, while playing that, if you like.
Well, I'll make you a promise, Tony. If he knocks in these next 5 balls, I'll ask him about it.
Right, I'm going to hold you to that.
And we'll find out. Maybe he's got a good excuse for us.
Yeah.
If he flats the cushion, he's perfect. And, well, it's good as. Didn't want to be straight. He's not. He's got a little bit of room. That is lovely.
Yeah, a herd of buffalo came charging across the arena and knocked my cue as I played it. That is bang on.
He's had his cue ball on a string.
Just now making doubly sure. You can see the winning line. Now then, does he just pop this in and get on the black? Or does he? He can play his cue ball just in between red and black and just push the black towards that bottom left-hand corner. Scenic route.
Yeah.
Short as well.
It is a bit short. It's still very makeable. I didn't think this went middle left, I'll be honest. Didn't sort of consider that, really.
No, that's 2 of us.
But yeah, absolutely goes. You fully expect him to make it, which he does. Heart of the pocket. And Kyle Cope is on the road in Pro Series 6. An excellent win from the young man. Really impressive performance in the end, Tony.
Well, very warm welcome back, everybody. We are ready to go here. Bottom of the draw in the last 64. Stevie Dempsey, number 2 seed, gets us underway, taking on Joe O'Connor. 2 players that know what it's like to get through to a Pro Series final. Of course, Stevie has won plenty of titles with Ultimate Pool. Joe just came up short in his Pro Series final, but we don't get to see too much of Joe, but always impresses when he does play. Obviously committed to the snooker world. But he's going to have to sit and watch it in the opening frame as Stevie has their first chance. As Nick Finn and Simon Webb with you on commentary for this one.
Good afternoon. Some good action so far, some good games. I watched some of the last one, and yeah, Tony and Jamie were mentioning that it's a whole different complexion. We saw some sublime pool, a lot of mistake-free pool in the first event, and this one seems to be littered with errors. But you expect the standard to go up a little bit here. Stevie and Joe, a couple of great players in their own right. And
well, when we saw Stevie play in event 5, he took on Dave Gilbert in the first round. So he's drawn 2 snooker players in the first round of both events this weekend. And he played brilliantly. He played just a really high quality match, took everything, he was flawless. I thought we were so impressed. Looked like Stevie Dempsey playing at his best. And went into the next match against Arfan Dad and ended up coming up short in a deciding frame. I didn't get to see it, so I don't know whether the level dropped or whether it was just a really high quality affair that Arfan won. But I thought when Stevie was beating Dave, I thought, oh, he could be tracking here for another title.
really is good to see Joe coming back to play some of the pool events. Obviously it's where he started his career.
Yeah, couldn't play in event 5 because of snooker commitments. So rushed up here to get ready for event 6. Good first shot to open up the one on the top left. Now needs a good angle to get across.
Yeah, not an absolute gimme, but he should be okay. He could, if he lands on the one to middle, just to the right hand side of bulk, and lands on it fairly straight, you can just drop him behind the other red, leave it fairly straight. Should be able to get down on the 8. Stun across, and it's okay, but he may have to cannon the red now. I'm not sure. He wanted to be straighter than this. He could have just dropped it in and held, but now it looks like he's got a bit too much angle and may just have to stun up into the red. Should still be okay. Just needs to judge the cannon, if indeed. Well, he could just hold. A bit closer to his work. Some players may have elected just to stun up and play the cannon. There wasn't a lot that could have gone wrong with the cannon if you just cannon it gently.
If he was straighter though, it'd be a bit easier. He has to really nip this so that the cue ball doesn't come too far across the table.
Yeah.
Slight grimace as he looked at the angle he'd left himself more than being close to his work.
It's okay. I mean, he's left a thin 8 ball, but you absolutely fancy him to get. Just probably needs to play it with a tracer side. The middle pocket is kind of on the line of the natural line for the cue ball, so you can see him just playing it with a little bit of. Yeah, well, he's missed it. That's a very unusual miss.
Quite a long way away as well. Very surprising.
He hit that way thicker than he meant to. You can see him just playing it with the tracer of left-hand side as well, just to make sure that cue ball didn't go anywhere near the middle pocket. And he's really let Dempsey off here.
Yeah, and that side probably pushed in as well, and that's, you know, first frame on this table coming straight off a snooker table. It's going to be tricky, and that may well be the reason for the miss there. But Stevie Dempsey will be buoyed by that. Very good temperament Joe has, very seldom shows any emotion out there. He will be annoyed inside. It'll be nice to start with a good finish, but in the end it ends up being Stevie Dempsey winning the opening frame. Off a Stevie Dempsey break. So just essentially over 3 titles ahead of second place. And he's a year ahead of 5th place. He's got double the ranking points of anyone from 5 downwards.
The one thing that I found astonishing yesterday was I asked the question in the group chat, how many finals has Tom lost? And the answer, finals on Ultimate Pool, I hasten to add, the answer is 1.
Yeah.
That is
some record in finals, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. I mean,
that was his first one as well. It's worth pointing out. Pro Cup against Jordan Shepherd.
Yeah.
What year would that been? 2022.
22, yeah.
And he's won 10 straight finals with Ultimate Pool. He is tracking for an 11th as well. I say tracking, he's in the last 32. Let's not get too carried away, but he remains the favourite. He's got Liam White in about an hour and 45 minutes. We won't be watching that though on the main table. We'll be focusing on, we are going to the last 32 after this match, but our 2 matches we'll be seeing Luke Gilbert versus Shaun Chipperfield, which promises to be a very quick one, and then we'll see Chris Melling taking on Chris Day.
Amy Beauchamp is now on the hill against Aaron Davis, 6-3 ahead. There is an upset on the cards. I mean, you say an upset. I say an upset. But, Amy is such a great player in her own right. Carl Sutton's just beaten Josh Jahaz, 7-3. Shane Thompson's edged ahead against Kirsty Colefield again, 5-4. Jake McCartney on the hill against Clayton Custody, 6-3. He's made that ball zip. It's not come quite as high as he'd like. He's got hampered queuing on the next shot, and he's going to be cannoning the red, so he has to judge the cannon as well. A lot can go wrong with this shot, but it comes out absolutely plumb. Well judged cannon. I mean, he was always just trusting to luck a little bit, because on another day, on a bad day, the yellow comes across the face. Joe would have been hopeful to get to the table there, but Dempsey slams the door in his face and pulls back with this 8 ball within 1 frame. Yeah, well, he made a ball, and the Reds, I think, are okay. I mean, it's a little bit fiddly. I mean, he's got the opener to the bottom right now if he wants to remove one of the awkward balls.
I think yellows are better. Yeah, so does
Joe.
You're
right, yeah.
The yellows all go without this. The 2 reds together that are awkward.
Yeah.
I know he was on the one on the cushion, and once that's out the way, but the yellows, he just has to connect them together.
Yeah.
Something he's been doing very well in this match.
Yeah, good shout. Having missed a couple of balls early in the match, he seems to have put that behind himself really well. He's potting everything now right in the middle of the pocket. I say that, and he's got a tricky pot here. Please don't miss it.
Yeah, the cue ball's the problem as well into the red.
Yeah.
Can he control the cue ball, land on something? Well, yes and yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, that's opened it up for him. That should be all the hard work done.
Christophe Lambert and beneath watching on. Nod of approval from Christophe. He's got Ryan Fleming in about an hour and a half's time in the last 32. Disappointing event 5 for Christophe.
Shane Thompson's beaten Kirsty Colefield. Shane was talking himself out of that match before it even started, saying he's not been practicing, and
he's one of the players that's struggling because he's trying to commit to Chinese and English, and I don't think it's particularly working for Shane Thompson.
Aaron Davies has pulled back another frame, 6-5. Amy's still to get across the line there.
Needs angle here. I think he's okay. The body language is telling me there's enough there that he can just punch out into the gap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, he might just be able to run on the narrow as well if he wants to. Yeah, that's what he's done. There was just enough room. And 2 pots away for Joe.
It's been a really good performance from Joe O'Connor.
Job done for Joe O'Connor. Knocks out the number 2 seed. A disappointing tournament once again for Stevie Dempsey.
Pro event number 6. Myself, Tony Holgate, on with Nick Finn. He stayed on. And we're going to watch a bit of Shaun Chipperfield and Luke Gilbert. And it's Chippy at the table. This is a man that likes to whiz around the table.
Yeah. Should be a pretty quick game. I mean, Luke's no slouch. He's a fast player as well.
And he's also a pro event winner this season.
Bit of news for the viewers if they haven't already spotted it. The women. What's going on today? Emma Cunningham beaten Rona McCarthy earlier today. Amy Beauchamp has just beaten Aaron Davis 7-5. And I tell you what, I just saw the finish from her. She left herself under pressure for the winning 8-ball. It was from the side cushion, probably just about where the 8-ball is on this table now, but actually glued to the cushion, slightly hamper cueing with a long 8-ball, the length of the table, and she absolutely nailed it. It was a brilliant finish.
Just go to show how strong the top of the ladies' game is.
Yep.
You know, obviously Amy, multiple world champion and just a fantastic curious. And Emma's, you know, she's a world champion. And she's been knocking on the door for a while as well. Well, I'm pleased for both of them. I mean, I'm not being funny. They're both 2 tremendous wins against 2 colossal players.
We know they're brilliant players. Can they ever be as consistent as a Phil Harrison or a Tom Cousins? Or is the inconsistency created by their style?
It's a good question. For me, a prime example of that would be like Chris Melling. Now Chris will attack everything and he is flamboyant and he pulls some brilliant shots. But if you watch Chris, he's sensible as well with it. So he keeps his in check. It's like keeping down Dr. Jekyll. It's hard, but for a player like maybe Shaun, Wacker Warren, these very fast attacking potters, I'd say it's harder. I think you need to be a tournament winner. I mean, we can always just use Tom Cousins as the prime example because he attacks, he's got great touch, but that's why he is the best player in the world. But I agree. I think because in the back of your mind is the itch to go game. You know, when I was playing, it was, you know, because I just potted, and I'd look at the table and think, I know I need to play a safety here. I know it's the right shot. But I cannot live with myself if I play the safety badly, and I've just messed up the match and it's cost me. And I think, right, I'll just take on a more difficult pot rather than an easy safety. Because listen to me, I'm telling you, some of the safety shots that were really easy for clever players were ridiculously hard for me. I honestly, I try and cover a bag and leave the Mersey tunnel.
Yeah.
But covering bag's not a thing in the game now because of the rule changes, which is good. So these rules would have completely suited me. You know, it's like attack with wild abandon and not bothered too much.
Because all the players I mentioned, I mean, they're all brilliant and they're amazing to watch, and they will win tournaments. They're always there and thereabouts in the winner's circle. But one of the parts of their game is they are a little bit inconsistent.
Their control is so good, Nick. You know that. You know they see the table so well. You know, very rarely. You know, players like Luke here. I mean, this finish is. You know, it was there, yes, but it's just from ball to ball, they're never in trouble. Oh, he's clipped the yellow first. Wow.
Unforgivable. I thought he may have just left that slightly short. I thought that was a little bit tight. He wanted.
He nicked it with side. Let's just have a look at this. No, he didn't.
And another roll of the ball, and that was a gimme. He was so tight.
That's a strange one, that.
That could be something we're talking about.
Oh my word.
I was just
what
about
have we
to
just
say,
seen here in the last 2 minutes, Nick?
I was just about to say that could be the talking point later on in the match, and that could be the difference between these two players, because 4-2 there for Luke Gilbert, but that's an unforgivable miss with ball in hand from Shaun. He seemed to stab
pair
it.
of them.
Seemed to stab it a little bit, and he's handed it straight back to Luke Gilbert. Wow.
Well. That one, and Shaun's off to the rest room. Oh, Goobsy.
Yeah, just struggling a bit.
Black off the break. No golden break, of course. So, being as the ball went in,
I think
Shaun will stay at the table, and the black will just be respotted or nearest to the spot.
I think Chippy would be quite happy to see that 8 go in, because the yellows were a bit of a pickle, and if the 8 ball stayed over the pocket, reds wouldn't have been an option. Yeah, so the 8 ball spot's occupied, so Trish had to just get that 8 ball in a line towards the cushion, in a direct line back from the spot.
Yep, can't go above the spot, but anywhere beneath it in the nearest possible place towards the cushion. It's fine.
And that's one of the reasons a lot of players often wonder why the balls are set up in the way they are with the reds to the front. It's because that's the way you prioritise it. So if 3 balls went off the table in the break, they would go 8 ball, red ball, yellow ball in that priority order.
Indeed.
Never seen that happen in the tens of thousands of frames that I've watched. I don't think I've ever seen 2 balls go off the table, let alone 3. Bit of a nothing there from Chippy. I'm not quite sure what he was chasing there. He recovers, but it's still in a spot of bother. I mean, especially that red coming down over that pocket now.
Play the yellow off the red into that bottom corner.
Yeah. It's possibly all he's got, to be honest.
Trouble with where's the cue ball going? You're going absolutely nowhere near where you want to go. What about play yellow onto black onto yellow? He's trying to go off the red. He's also attempting the shot I just said as well in the same go.
That could be all she wrote for Shaun Chipperfield.
Well, they're there. The balls are there now for Luke.
Yeah.
Just a quick reminder, don't go too far away after this match, because coming up next is the magician, Chris Melling, and he's going to be taking on Chris Day.
Battle of the Chris.
Indeed.
Chippy poised, ready to throw the towel.
Well, it's been pretty solid for 95% of the match for Luke Gilbert. Had a little blip in the odd frame, but he's certainly been the better value. It's been a controlled performance. Chippy's had a few bits of bad luck.
Yeah.
Also a couple of rash shots, I think, here and there.
And it's Gilbert who puts Shaun through the chipper.
Wow. No, I'm not having that.
No?
Well, in goes the black ball, and it's Luke Gilbert who will progress here in Blackpool. Chris Melling versus Chris Day. And it's the magician to break off. And a dry break from the man from Yorkshire. Not the greatest, cleanest strike. And a little shake of the head there. So Chris Day. It's a very early opportunity.
Yellow ball's in play.
And they didn't have a very good opening event. Not that he wasn't playing well. Had a tremendous match against John McAllister. He led 6-4, put out some astonishing finishes, and so did McAllister. And it was John McAllister who came back from the dead, beat him 7-6. But this is a new day, new tournament. Just navigating around these yellows now, Chris. If you want to come a little bit further there, it's okay. Yellow goes into the bottom left and bottom right. This black ball will be the bottom right for him. Nicely played by Chris Day. In goes the last yellow. This will be a good start for Chris Day against the break. Down it goes, and it's the man from Suffolk who leads 1-0.
He's finally getting himself some street cred. He's the source of all my good lines. Lovely break from Chris Day. Oh, I tell you what, it's got. You mentioned that game, didn't you, where he played Brian Halcrow, Chris Melling, and this has really got a very, very similar feeling because we commentated on that game, and this is exactly how it started. Chris couldn't touch the table.
No, it has a ring about it, I'm afraid, at the moment. Well, it was Brian Halcrow went 6-0 up before Chris then broke and finished.
Yeah, I think you think he ran 2 or 3.
It was definitely 8-2. I know this because Brian tells me about it every time I see him.
I bet he does.
Bless him.
This is all about Chris's cue ball control again, which already has been very, very good. I just wonder, he's got options with the red on the right side rail. He could land on it now to go low, or he could use the yellow by the middle pocket to potentially bump it in there. I wonder if that yellow's just a little bit high on the centre pocket to play that safely, and whether he just thinks, you know what, I've got to back my potting at some point. It's not a difficult pot. Does he play it down the rail? I think if he was going to, he's probably going to look at it last ball from here, I would suggest. If he wants to play it in off the yellow, he can land underneath it here, but he's not going to, so he's going to do it the inverted commas proper way.
Indeed, this is the proper way.
But it's been relentless, this. You just can't fault it.
Well, just over 10 minutes gone now, and this will be frame number 4 of the match, and frame number 4 for Chris Day.
just perfect. Just perfect pull. Chris Melling can't know anything about this. Chris Day has been flawless. 4-0. As he racks up track 5.
Yeah, unlucky breaking in off there from Melling, but Chris still has to put the balls away. Not had to go at anything yet.
He's had 2 breaks, one of which was incredibly unfortunately kicked in off because he hit the break
Scuffy.
beautifully, and one was scuffy. But you know, you're allowed a scruffy break every now and then.
You are.
It doesn't mean he deserves to be 4-0 down.
No, it doesn't.
But full credit to Chris Day here, who is in his own right a fabulous player. Rich Rhodes is happy. Now we can get underway. Chris Melling with break number 3 of this match. Well, you can't hit them better than that. You can't hit them better than that. And he's been blessed with an awkward layout as well. It really is just everything working against him here, he'll feel like, but he needs to keep positive. That break is perfect in terms of cue ball, and which is the only thing he can really control. He's got a little bit of a slug rack in the centre there, so not much has come apart, just the right of the break line.
Well, thankfully for Chris, he's actually got to get his playing cue out now, just not just his break cue.
Yeah, I thought it would be reds, but there's work to do, namely the one underneath the 8 ball. I just wonder if it actually goes to right centre. It may well do. If that is the case, Chris doesn't actually have to move anything. But I'm not sure. It looks very, very tight. Of course, it's not particularly easy to land nicely on. I just wonder if his route is to polish off those at the top of the table, and the bottom red is his link to the red and the 8 ball. Looks like that's the plan. He's just come a little bit past the straight here. Can he still get through? Yeah, just. Pops it right on the thick side of the pocket.
The red goes between the black and the yellow. Or does it go in the middle?
Yeah, there we go. He's just a joy to watch, isn't he?
That took him a long time, didn't it?
Oh, he's just a joy to watch.
Yep, nobody's missed anything. It's just been down. The difference has been Chris's breaks, the in-off and the scuffer.
Oh, what a time to go dry. Is this the moment where Chris Melling finds a route back into the match? Nothing wrong with that break, mind.
No, this is what Chris needs to break serve now. He's got 2 breaking serves to get rid of as well. Not easy.
If you're just joining us, Chris was 4-0 up. Chris Melling didn't get his first shot at the table until he was 4-0 down. There's not been a mistake in this match yet. It has been flawless pull. And I have a suspicion that will continue here. Chris has got work to do on this finish though. Yellows are tricky. Or does this pass?
Must be able to cut this in down the bottom.
Yeah, I think he must have wanted to have landed on this a little bit straighter. I can't imagine that was plan A and that's gone wrong. Has he still got a shot? I just wonder if he can sneak this to the centre, you know.
Could he play it wide enough to play off the red that's near that centre? If he can't cut it into the pocket, surely he can get to the red.
Yeah, I think he's... yeah, that's got to be the play, I think. No, it went straight.
Wow.
Look at that, he did do enough with the shot. Cue ball, oh, it just kept on rolling. It just kept on rolling.
That's unlucky. Let's find the right gap there, that.
Yeah, and
that'll be relief for Chris Day off this dry break, because Melling gets those and breaks and dishes. He's going to be right on the...
Oh, the...
Wow.
Well.
That is a carbon copy of the Shaun Chipperfield miss. Same pocket, same shot. Cue ball in hand, same shot, jawed in that bag.
It's incredible.
If you were to mark them up later and look at the two shots and compare them, they're identical.
That's amazing. It's taken 7 frames of flawless 8-ball to see anything that remotely resembles an error. And we've seen 2 in 2 shots, and they have both been biggies. Chris Melling goes in off, Chris Day misses a dolly. Oh, what a great shot that is.
Bit skinny into the middle bag here for Chris. Be digging deep with the cue ball.
Well, he had to land above this yellow. I don't know if he planned to land exactly here, but I don't know where else he was thinking. If so, I think he fancied it.
Oh, what a shot that is.
Brilliant.
So I thought he was going to be digging that deep and trying to screw into the rail, but that is brilliant. Boom.
Fantastic shot this. This is all about just knowing your angles. Just plays the natural. I think there's a little bit of check maybe off the bottom rail, but substandard. Perfect break. No way.
Ugh.
How'd you like him? And yellows are sitting very, very pretty. There are a couple of little bits of work to do. That's the only thing that's giving Chris Melling a little bit of hope right now. He struck that break beautifully.
It's not been his day on the breaks today.
No, you got to feel for him.
Because his play's been absolutely outstanding as well.
He's done nothing wrong apart from slightly overrun positional shot, and I'm loath to criticise him for that, because the table's just carried the cue ball on and on and on until it's settled in the middle bag. You can't really be too critical about that.
Plays off one yellow, knocks the other one in here. No, he doesn't. He's screwing into it.
Going to use top cushion first, just like that. That's nice.
Played very well.
Really well controlled. And I think the other problem yellow, the one that's in between the two reds on the right side rail, that just goes into the middle pocket off the red. It's simple here from Chris Day. This is just hold yourself together time.
Yeah. Big bag, like you say, for the yellow into the middle. These are drop-ins.
Yeah, all the hard work done.
Going to be a disappointing end to these last couple of days for Chris Melling. Been in fine form as well. They're absolutely cueing so well.
Yeah.
Just goes to show, be cueing the best in the world and not win these events. The break does you in, and maybe one little overrun, and it's cost you an entire match. But Chris Day's been
You have
phenomenal.
to credit Chris Day too. Yeah, he's been breaking massively, and he's been, apart from one really jarring miss,
flawless
from cue ball in hand. He's been perfect. He's not been out of position once. Every bit of work he's had to do, he's done it perfectly. It's been a really good performance this from Chris Day. It has to be, to beat someone as good as Chris Melling, and CD has done the job.
Well, Chris Day knocks in the black, and a fine performance there from the man from Suffolk, defeating Chris Melling 7-4. Not a great day at the office for Chris, but Chris Day, absolutely brilliant performance.
This is her second. And it's Kirsty Davies to get us underway, but it's going to be an in-off straight away. So Megan Proctor with a first opportunity. Race to 7, 50 minutes. Simon Webb and Nick Finn with you for this one.
Good evening. Yeah, should be a cracking game. Two of the top ladies in the game. Megan has been making inroads. She's been threatening for quite a while now, and she finds herself with another deep run. Kirsty Davies we've seen a couple of times over the last 12 months. Should be a very interesting game, followed by another good semi-final. Daniel Randall plays Harriet Haynes in the second semi-final after this. So a couple of well-matched games. Hard to pick a favourite between these two.
Yeah, I'd say going off form, Kirsty's the 5th ranked player. She's the closest, and the next player kind of outside of the ones that are already in the the top 4 that are kind of fancied every event, but yet to get her hands on a women's series title. She did win a mini series, which is very, very close to. So I'd probably just give the edge to Kirsty. But the thing for me with Kirsty is I think her A game is phenomenal, and I think she has that power game that can blow people away. When she beat Harriet Haynes in the final of the mini series last year, or was it the year before? I think it was last year. Then it was just finish after finish and just blew Harriet away. She has that capability. But Megan has had to do it the hard way to get here. She's had world champion after world champion after world champion, already dispatched 2 of them, looking to dispatch a 3rd. Marion Jude and Barbara Taylor falling by the wayside at the hands of Megan Proctor.
Yeah, that's a fair old run in. Tough field in the ladies pro, full of talent.
Oh, this hasn't worked. Is she going to get away with it? Not quite.
No.
The 8 ball is still awkward, but you can see the red to pot it, bottom right.
It's going to be tough to get on that 8. It's all about the angle she leaves on her last ball. Be interesting to see which pocket she plays it into. That looks about perfect. She can screw straight back.
Yeah, nice. It's never easy when you're playing for straight. She's landed okay here.
Judge the pace really well, considering these players haven't played on this table at all this weekend. Seems to have settled to the pace straight away.
Another one to that pocket.
Yeah.
Stays up. Early nerves, you feel,
Yeah.
for Megan. Just a couple. I got it away.
It's not a bad leave, though. I mean, she's going to find herself in trouble, but Kirsty's going to have to move all of these yellows on the side cushion. That 8 ball is not doing her any favours.
Well, good luck here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish we had a telestrator, Nick. I'd like to see you draw some lines on the screen for this one. I cannot see how you get close. I think you have to go into the right side. You have to go in just kind of very close to the centre pocket and kind of looking at top cushion, side cushion, top cushion, thread the needle through the yellows. But even then, I just think even getting in that corner of the table is not on. I suppose if you get past the yellow there, you are kind of getting close, but could be there all day and not make that shot. But it's put another yellow down in an awkward position, interestingly.
Yeah, Megan still has to be a big favourite here in this frame, just given where those yellows are. Could change with this shot. No, doesn't get into it at all. The screw didn't take fast enough.
Yeah, played it with quite a lot of pace, and that's another sign of playing on this table. Obviously, first frame on this table. Felt like she was giving herself the perfect angle, but it's not what you expect at all.
missing the 8 ball and leaving it over the pocket in a frame like this, it's the only real time missing a ball and leaving it over the pocket gives you any sort of equity in a frame. This time I think the 2 cushions on, top cushion, side cushion, this one very much a lot more makeable. Slid quite dramatically.
Yeah, just needed a bit of side just to pull it across. And still very much the same problem for Kirsty.
I was going to say, the problem is when she plays safe, plays the snooker, she is gambling that Megan's not going to find the 2 cushion kick shot, but you've got to pump a ball out when you're doing it as well. You need these yellows to be developed at the same time.
Yeah. And developing from here, probably just going to push a yellow closer to the 8.
She might just decide, you know what, I've had enough of this. Pot the 3 open yellows, or pot this one and then play the double, and then you've got 2 open yellows and the 8 ball. So time to go.
I agree. Yeah, I have to go from here.
Deciding against it.
Hit the cushion.
Yeah. I think the 2 cushions on again. It looks more awkward because the yellow's there, but I think it's on. And she's going to go 1 cushion with rakes aside.
The side didn't take there, but she's pushed one of those yellows back onto the cushion.
Oh, what an opening frame we have here. Kirsty's having a right smile. I think Kirsty's best chance really was to take the double, in all honesty.
She could leave an angle again and try to dislodge. Leave an angle to middle, come around 2 cushions into the bottom of them, but again a tough shot. Well, she's going to
this is a good way to play the breakout.
Yep.
Come bottom cushion into them with pace. Not this time. It's getting harder.
It's going to be another snooker.
But this time it's one that Megan absolutely should get.
Yeah.
This isn't a 50-50. This should be every time. Oh, how have you not made it? You were guaranteed to hit it every time. I thought hitting it was guaranteed to pot it, but obviously not.
Bit more pace. She would probably double kissed it in.
If Kirsty half balls off this and leaves the cue ball near the top left-hand corner pocket, like that, but might be just short of pace, it actually then becomes a difficult ball to hit. I'm not sure it's doing too much good for Kirsty, but looks like she has left it.
Here, yeah. Even if... Oh,
wow. Wowee.
I was going to say, even if she can't hit the ball direct, she can go cushion first and it surely drops. And
this might be interesting. So the frame has not been awarded yet. I think this one might get reviewed. Patricia Murphy, she wants another look at this to see whether the 8 ball actually stops. Well, it'd be an interesting call coming up here. I'm so glad I'm not a referee though, but I think this probably does. The frame has been awarded. She's decided, and I, to be honest with you, I think you've got to be absolutely certain it stops there. And we've watched that 4, 5, 6 times, and I could believe it was still just turning. So I'm not against that as a call at all.
Another solid hit. Pretty good split. The balls kind of converge again just below the 8 ball, which does cause a couple of problems. It means that she's going to have to try and develop something, depending what set she goes. I mean, again, it's... Well, it's going to be yellows just because the opener on reds is pretty difficult and doesn't lend itself to another ball, so just has to consider what she's going to do with her problem. She could screw across into it now, and does.
Oh, that's come out lovely.
Yep.
Everything.
I was going to say she might be tempted just to come up and open them again, but I don't think she needs to. I think that's the right shot for me.
Yeah, I like this if she can play on the one at the bottom of the table now.
Yeah, that was the pattern I was looking at. Play this and then come up for the one just to the left of the 8 ball. No. It's going to be a loss of turn.
Loss of turn.
Ties up another one of the reds.
Misses the pot. I'm not sure where she was going if she makes it. Kirsty in control of this frame. Doesn't necessarily mean it. She has the perfect chance to go here, but she's in control.
Wow. That cue ball could have been in a bit of a better position. Misjudgment, I think. Needs to, I was going to say he needs a cushion, but actually I think the cue ball immediately hit the cushion, so she was fine. It's opened everything up for Reds. Can't get through to the potting angle to right centre. She can get through to the potting angle of the one just below the 8 to left centre, but that's a horrid shot when you're queuing over the top of a ball. Needs that cue ball to hold up, and it does.
That's okay. That is okay.
Yeah. I think when she hit it, she thought that was going in off because she kind of raised her palm as if to say, oh. But it was fine. Now the yellows. Most certainly there.
Yeah, one big shot here. I don't know if she can see the yellows bottom left, but if you can find the one into the centre pocket or take it long, whichever way you prefer, time to go and win the frame.
Yeah. I quite like the middle pocket because I think she probably, if she goes the other way, she's got an awkward yellow to get on. This opens things up. Ooh.
Oh, that helps.
Yes, indeed.
Helps her as well if this yellow stays on the table.
Oh.
What a moment of fortune there for Megan Proctor. That could be a huge blow for Kirsty Lee Davies. Megan now needs to be ruthless and make that fluke count.
Probably worth mentioning that the semi-finals of Challenger 1 have just gotten underway. In the first one, Daniel Bishop plays Richard Toomey. They're currently 0-0. In the second one, Jaden Billingham is 2-0 up against Zach Shepherd. Daniel Bishop and Zach Shepherd both from Wales, teammates, and both from a very similar part of the country, and they're good mates too. They'd love to play each other in the final, but Jaden Billingham, what a story from him. That young man just keeps going from strength to strength. He's already had deep runs in the Challenger, and here he is again, 2-0 up. He's to judge the pace. Oh,
very nice indeed.
Delightful.
And this 8 ball for 4-0. Well, that is being ruthless. Huge fluke for Megan Proctor, it really was. Massive moment of fortune for her.
And again, the yellows are wide open.
This match is just fully turned. Fully turned.
I mean, if you were watching this game and pricing it, you would definitely make Kirsty a favourite now, because you struggle to wonder where the next frame for Megan can come from, because her nerves are really playing a part for her.
It does swing though when you make big comebacks, doesn't it? That you get back to kind of level, and then all of a sudden the pressure swing.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting to see how she handles that. I mean, Megan's still in control. She has the break in the next frame. That's what she has to remember. I mean, we're writing this one off, but Kirsty still has to clear these up. The way she's playing. Ooh.
Oh, it's a surprising miss.
She knew it as soon as she let go of it as well, but not done it. I mean, this is tough.
Yeah, good luck getting on the 8 ball here.
Yeah. Just didn't get the motion into the cue ball. And I think she just has to give this a slap off the back cushion and hope for the best.
But when Kirsty Lee's clearing up, you're thinking if you offered this shot as a chance, you take it. Yeah. This is makeable.
Yeah. Ooh. Give it a chance. She hit it so hard it straightened up off the top cushion.
Yeah.
Didn't she could have played that with more control.
Yeah, just enough pace for it to reach the bottom right hand corner pocket basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a nice medium pace shot.
Yeah, the way she played it was she's doing the old hit and hope, where actually, she could have tried to line up the 8 for the middle pocket or the bottom corner, give it a chance. Another big shot here though, another tester. Just drops it in, takes the medicine and leaves a much tougher 8 ball. It was a bit of a trade-off there. You either make that yellow harder and try and get closer to the 8, or you make the 8 harder. Beautiful.
Great 8 ball. Well, it's not a foul, but it is time. And actually, it could have gone awkward at the top of the table, but the red finishing where it has and the 8 ball finishing where it has, they're the last 2 balls now. It's just can Kirsty Lee, in the final minute of this match, connect it all together and take us to a 6 red shootout.
She doesn't have to race, but she's not got that long. She's just strolling at the moment. Don't run out of time. We've seen players do this before.
Yeah, she doesn't look concerned by the match clock.
No.
4 pots, 30 seconds. 3 pots. And that's not the best of shots. She can't afford to miss because the clock will go.
Yeah,
she's going to change. This isn't. She can't afford to go this way around. The cue ball's going to do too much travelling. What a shot she needs here. I think she still had to go bottom left there.
I agree. She needs a miracle and doesn't get it.
And that is going to cost her. No need for Megan Proctor to even play the 8 ball. She is into the final, into a Women's Series final for the 2nd time. She did all the running in the early part of the match, had to hang on towards the end, and she just gets herself into the final. Kirsty Davies comes up short. She'll have to come again in event 6, but Megan Proctor will be back for the final. Being very precise with the cue ball, with her cut break here. Hits it very well, very firm. And it's a golden break to start with, but of course we all know the 8 ball comes back up in Pro Series pool. So asked to sit down whilst the 8 ball gets put on the spot. Has made a yellow, so is at the table with an opportunity here. And a little bit unfortunate for the quality of that break to not be on a ball unless a red up the table goes. She's on absolutely nothing. Talked about this match when I was in the arena a little bit earlier on, building up to the semi-finals, and when they played in the final at the beginning of last season, Harriet was really trying to bully Danielle Randall and take it to her, and it's how she played, and it opened up the game for Danielle. She was doing a mop-up job. She was punishing, she was counter-clearing, and then when Harriet was starting to come back, she was hanging on for the title. I think Harriet's a better player now, and I don't think she'll fall into the same trap. She'll still be aggressive, she'll still try and bully. I think she has more of a B game when needed. And that's not good. Or nothing. Possibly not how she drew it up, but she's made one. Problem is, put the other one safe. That's not going to help. Just trying to make it clean. And that would have left her on the other one. Would have been a tough shot to get onto the yellows at the bottom, but she would have had a shot. And just has to contain. Complete miscue from Danielle. No damage done though. Not left anything on here for Harriet. Can smile about it. To be on the one at the bottom, might not be. Doesn't look like it. Body language is telling us no. With the overhead camera, that's also telling us no. So having to find another way, and if you leave that one there, it becomes a problem ball. That was the chance to get onto it. Might be worth pulling back. Depends how she feels. She can get there again. An opening frame of a semi-final. Do you want to chase? Not the best of shots, all for the safety, but open the door. Harriet has this yellow to bottom left. Just. Controlled that really well. Simple task here just to get the opening frame on the board. A disappointing one for Danielle Randall, but a very positive one for Harriet Haynes. A couple of opportunities required But she got the opportunities and she has put the opener on the board. Oh, what a shot
wow.
that is. Wow. She's not going to be on the 8 ball.
Oh, the cue ball has killed her.
Very unfortunate. That was a great shot. And a good solid hit again. It's going to end up as a loss of term. But Harriet got away with that last one. Just won't land nicely for Harriet here at all. She's been in complete control of this frame for 90% of it, but just won't land for her. She's having to keep. It's just so against what she wants to do. Even though she has a B game, more of a B game than she ever used to. Much more of an all-round player. This isn't how she wants to go about it. Can't quite get where she needs to with the control and the chances.
Goodness me, that was close.
Held my breath then. I thought that was in the minute she hit it. It's such an uncomfortable feeling when you keep giving your opponent opportunities like this. You always fear the worst, and Harriet probably felt that was in. But it hasn't landed nicely. She's not on anything again. So once again, an opportunity for Danielle.
I don't love that shot. Can Danielle find the line? She was not far off.
I'm not sure how the last one missed. I'm not sure how she doesn't hit the 8 ball on this one. She's finally going to get this one on the board in the 4-1 lead, and I said 4-1 lead if she wins this one slowly and has 15 or 12 minutes, but it's going to be under 10.
Yeah, I feel like that's broken the back of the match from Harriet.
It's a very solid break. Oh, they've just clustered together in the triangle area. She's had some far better chances than this that have got away. Yeah, and you can see that bit of a realisation when she's studying the table. Not very inviting. I know the final's very different to the semi-final, but assuming Harriet does make it through. Oh, what a shot that is, by the way. That's the shot. That's the best shot. Absolutely the best shot of the match. That's incredible. Look at the gap she finds here. Absolutely unreal.
Right, it's come a little too late for Danielle Randall. It will be too little too late, but this little salvo is a memorable one. Yeah, super clearance from Danielle. it won't matter. Ultimately, it will just be another number on the scoreboard in a losing effort ultimately in this semi-final, but that was a terrific clearance. That pot and position especially was special. Danielle also having a whistle at these. It looks like she's going to concede, and there is the decision. Harriet Haynes gets the win over Danielle Randall, who'll be disappointed that she couldn't put her quarter-final form into this semi-final effort, but Harriet Haynes is through to another Ultimate Pool Women's Pro Series final.
Megan wins the lag, gets the first frame underway. Played really well in her semi-final. She had a little bit of nerves, but she got across the line in the end. Been in a final before and just came up short. So another chance to lift the trophy. Bit of a tricky layout to open things up. Yellow's a little bit sticky. Joining me on comms is Simon Webb. Good evening.
Yeah, evening, Nick. It's been a fascinating couple of semi-finals. In fact, the whole tournament's been really interesting the way it's played out. Some of the big names have fallen by the wayside. We still have one of the big stars in Harriet Haynes out there. A messy opening frame, and this could be quite significant in this final. I just feel, for Megan, really important to get off to that good start. I saw a brilliant start from her in the semi-finals and then had to hang on.
Yeah, I think if she can get, some momentum, then it's going to be a question of whether she can hold her nerve. This first title for her means so much, and if she can get across the line, you feel that it's the start of the floodgates may open and she'll win a series of trophies. But it's just about that first one, so difficult.
I don't think either player will be thrilled by their semi-final performance, but semi-finals and finals are for winning, and it doesn't really matter. But I don't think either player can take too much away from the fact that they're not absolutely flying on their first match out in this arena table. So it's difficult to sort of split the two of them based on the match we have seen.
Yeah, if you take away the rest of the match and just think about the first 5 frames that Megan played, if she can recreate that, she's going to have a great chance. But that's the question, and also whether Harriet lets her, because Harriet does like to bully a game. Very attacking player.
Might have gone just too far. I think needed to be on the right hand of the two reds there, to be on that into the centre, and then could have gone.
Yeah, I think the top one does pass the bottom left, so she can reroute, come back around and get on that.
Yeah, if that does go bottom left, then yeah, you're absolutely right. They're all there again, aren't they?
She's perfect on it now if she wants to.
I was going to say it might be better to be the other angle on it, the other side of it, just so that you can deal with the one in the centre without having to move it or move the yellows.
Yeah. And also she's on these two at the top of the table, so why not take them now?
It's not quite the angle we were talking about, but I wonder if both reds go to the bottom left corner, in which case she doesn't need to move the other red.
Maybe
it will.
Yeah, looking at the overhead, I think you're right.
Just pinch the pocket to make sure she was hitting that one thick enough to not move the other red.
She's got options here. She could stun across and take it to the middle still. She has the angle.
Yeah, just like that. And that's a good angle into the middle, just off straight to stun behind the 8 ball.
For me, the one thing she was missing in the semi-finals was fluency. It was a very bits and pieces match, and this has been a very fluent first chance for Harriet. This is exactly what she was looking for.
Yeah, nice clearance.
Beautiful break.
Yeah, very consistent with that break. Not the most amount of power. There are definitely players who break bigger than her, but she times it really nice. And look how she just parks the cue ball in the middle of the table. Still spinning now.
She gets a lot of side on her breaks, but she squares up the front ball.
Yeah.
It's a very repeatable break. I mean, you must just be catching it the tracer side, so allowing her to do that, but I don't think it's intentional, but it works, so don't change it.
Confident opening punch, perfect position. She's away in this frame. It's just going to be about the transition from the ball that she's pointing at now towards the middle to get up to the top of the table. These three kind of take care of themselves naturally from one to the next. She probably just needs to just drop this in and come pretty much on the line of it. It's nice to have a big angle here, just to be able to kind of quarter ball it, and the cue ball naturally floats up. I mean, the red is a bit of a problem. The red in the just to the right would be a blue spot on a snooker table. It's like a bit of a football here. It's on a line that she would like to take up the table. Yeah, and as a result, she should just come a little straighter, and she may just try and top this through.
Got to be a good shot though. She's got to get right the way to the top of the table here.
Yeah.
Well, I say that she's looking to see is there a gap if she just drops this in dead weight. Might leave too much angle would be my worry. No, it does try and go up there. I'm not sure she had the angle for that. Trying to create an angle that wasn't quite there.
Yeah, if she was going to play that shot, she would better leave in a bigger angle on the one to middle.
So Harriet in complete control of this frame, but poor safety. Megan has a second opportunity.
Indeed. She can just float this in. Cue ball should take care of itself. It looks like it's going to track towards the yellow, cannon into the yellow, and she pretty much can't fail to be on something. Just float it. Nice. Very good.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, moves the yellow onto the cushion, but it's not a problem really. Drop this in. Just leave a couple of turns of angle and float the cue ball down for the 8 ball.
Doesn't want to be too close to the cushion. Yeah, could have done with that one just bouncing off it. It just leaves this missable. Especially over this distance. Pull it straight. Nice. A little test of cueing, especially just playing it from under the cushion. In this main arena table on the clock.
I say that, there's still half the match to go, so there is still time for both players to get there. It just feels the way it's going that we're sort of going to edge towards a climax here.
So she could go yellows. The yellow that she's closest to, could she dig in, screw it back and into the back of the red and try and break out her bad ball? Maybe just a little too straight to do that, but I think you could make it. Reverse side, just nick a bit of the pocket, and that opens up the whole table.
Yeah. Slightly confusing.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely not 15 seconds in play, so confusing us all.
thing is, that yellow is a problem. I think she may have missed a trick. Maybe the angle wasn't quite there, but I think it was. And she needs to think about how she's going to develop that yellow. I mean, she could knock it. If the red's not frozen, I can see from the overhead, from the other camera angle, that the red isn't frozen. So she could just run into the yellow and release it and leave the cue ball touching. Yeah, I don't think that was ever on. It was never going to release. I was just talking about just running into that yellow, releasing it out into the open and sitting on top of the red. Harriet would have had no shot. She's running out of options here.
Time to pull back for me. The reds aren't much of a layout here either.
No.
Just slow it down and see if you can force a better opening or ask Harriet to come up with something. Yeah, she's just going to play the containing shot.
Yeah, she's left an opener, and that will then give Harriet a nice angle to come up and attack that problem area. Maybe she's not going to. Turning it down, just moving another ball off the cushion. She probably wanted that to roll another half a roll just to cover the path of the yellow, just a bit more insurance. Whether the red would go, but the yellow wouldn't. Taking a bit of a liberty. I mean, she doesn't have much else, but she's giving Harriet open balls to go for. And now it's a clever shot because the reds do go now. There's still the one just below the 8 ball's a bit of a problem, obviously, and the 8's a problem, but
I'm tempted just to feather off this yellow and just leave the yellow near the 8 ball and just, if you can't find anything too forward to do, just try and contain.
Yeah.
There's the Three Stooges watching on. Thompson, Brennan and Rowe.
What a day Declan Brennan's had today. He's like a cat that's got the cream. Every time I see him, he's just chirping about Ronan. Unbelievable. I mean, they're great mates, but I've never met two guys that enjoy the other one's discomfort as much as those two guys do. It's brilliant.
Oh no, another one. Another one.
Whoa.
The hand of apology. She couldn't look. She couldn't look. And this, I tell you what, this is very doable to get out from here.
Yeah.
How about this? Oh dear.
How big's that shot going to be?
Needed the fuller contact. Needed it to be fuller because then you can play the flick out while staying on the one in the middle.
She might still be okay now. She's just got enough angle. I think she can stun up into the red. If she hits the red full ball, she'll be on the yellow and just release that 8 ball towards the pocket.
If not, just leave the straight angle and you can come back on and off and catch the red.
Yeah.
And you're on the 8 ball top left.
Yeah, that's an option, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's what she's doing.
Or she can't. I don't know. Can she come back on and off, or is she going into the red? I think if you really nip this, you get the cushion first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's looking at.
Got to play it with side. Got to play it with reverse side.
Yeah, she got the red. That's what I was worried about.
If she plays that with reverse side, the cue ball screws back and then comes out at a wider angle and takes the red. She didn't put any side on it at all.
I do think she could have got there if she potted that in the straight half of the pocket.
Yeah.
She looked like she potted it centre pocket, but I'm with you. It was very much a shot on, and another frame where we'll say an opportunity for Megan to really hurt Harriet and let it go, because it's another frame where Harriet's been in complete control of for the majority of it, and that fluke would have really been a big one. Now Harriet's got the opportunity. 20 minutes to go 2 clear.
Another 2 frames played in that Challenger final, and they chopped them, so it's now 3-2 to Jaden Billingham. There's a couple of finals going on out there actually. I think Challenger Tier 2 might be on at the same time.
Yeah, a bit of atmosphere out in the arena.
Yeah.
Cheers coming around.
Yeah, you can hear some shouts in the background, that's what that's coming from.
Not exactly a smooth sailing counter here from Harriet, but back into good position.
Yeah, so the final of the Challenger Series Tier 2 is Chris Hall against Ashley Hardcastle. Chris Hall 4-1 up. Chris Hall having beaten Joshua Traynor in the semi-final. Ashley Hardcastle having beaten Dave Hunt.
As Harriet completes the counter, gets us have a couple clear. Yeah, once again, gets the right-hand side on, throws the cue ball to the left and misstrikes the front ball.
And dry, which is definitely not what she wanted, because Harriet could just take her time over this clearance. The reds are all there. She's elected to go reds.
Yeah, red passes the yellow top right, so they are absolutely very nice indeed.
She's not concerned about the clock. This is all about the frame. She knows if she gets this one, all the hard work's done.
She should be concerned about the clock, but I think her argument would be that she just doesn't play as fluently and as well when she's trying to run the clock down. She is probably the quickest player in the women's game, and
that's a bonus.
Wow, very fortunate.
Yeah, if this was a Shaun story, you'd hear the beeps on every single shot.
You would.
But for Harriet, this is all about the clearance. Not concerned about the clock in the slightest, just wants to get it done and get 7 on the board. And that 3-frame lead with just 5 minutes left would be commanding. All about the cue ball. Ooh.
And this is why you should run the clock down.
Yep.
If Harriet doesn't make this off one cushion, Megan's going to come to the table with a chance to make it a 1-frame game with still 3 to 4 minutes on the clock.
Yep. You feel she's left a minute out there, hasn't she?
Yeah, at least a minute for me.
If she ran the clock down on every one of those shots, she's got another minute. And now we're looking at 3:30, Megan having to clear, and then have an opportunity in the last.
Yeah, leaving 3:30 would be exactly what she needs. It allows Harriet to make a ball and have time, and not, if she doesn't make a finish, you've still got time for the counter. So it really it puts the pressure onto Harriet. If it was 2.5 minutes and Harriet makes a ball, it's essentially match over.
Yeah. The first thing Megan has to do is clear this table, and she's just overrun that yellow slightly. She's going to cannon into the other one here. She needs this to come out. Judged it well. Jess needs to focus on the shot now. She's so close to it that makes it that little bit easier than playing from distance.
She loves a testing 8 ball. She loves a testing 8 ball.
Doesn't she? Shaun, no.
Oh, heartbreak for Megan Proctor, and that could be and will be
the final dagger blow. Heart of the pocket, but the cue ball. And what a sinking feeling for Megan.
You'll never know.
And she makes the ball for good measure, but 3 minutes left, 3 frames the advantage. What a difference that makes.
Amazing. Imagine the pressure on Harriet here.
Yeah, we'd be talking about this being a really tricky layout of the situation because it's hard to contain and hard to attack. She's tried to contain, but if Megan had had this chance with 2:45 to play, she'd be getting excited about it, but requiring 3 frames, I think the intensity, the adrenaline, it's all fallen away from Megan now. Can Harriet Haynes finish in style?
That's certainly come out nicely. Nice kiss.
Eight ball for it then. Going to smash through the door in a fascinating final. But it is Harriet Haynes that gets her hands on another title. Congratulates Megan on a good tournament. Harriet Haynes walks away with another Women's Pro Series title. And she continues at the top of the rankings as well.
Your Pro Series 5 champion, Harriet Haynes.